Lucia. Welcome back to Arts in the City. This is episode 3, and I am Cameron Gustav, and I'm joined by my lovely co-host, Miss Kishana Smith. Kishana, how are you going, girl?
Good night, everybody. Welcome back, Cameron. I'm excited. I can tell you that this evening show promises to be a good one. We have lots of giveaways, so stick around for that. But in the meantime, Cameron, in studio with us this evening is Mr. Kelly Mitchell, and he is a marketing specialist from Republic Bank.
That's right. You see, Arts in the City, we have so many events going on, but they all cannot happen without sponsors. Yes, money is the talk of the world, but it's not just money, it's art and a passion that connects the two. Isn't that right?
Absolutely. So, are you ready to kickstart the show?
Oh, always, always.
All right. So, good evening, Mr. Mitchell. How are you?
Hi, good evening, and thank you so much for having me. It's a pleasure to be here.
Okay, nice. All right, so let's get the ball rolling. So, what motivated Republic Bank to become the main sponsor for Art of the City this year?
Okay, so basically, we all know the importance of jazz and arts festival to St. Lucia in terms of economic activity and development.
Right.
For us at Republic Bank, we were very intentional in selecting this aspect of the activities because we understand the importance of the creative arts, the performing arts, and we know how it can really enhance the cultural aspect of St. Lucia.
Okay.
So really and truly, as a corporate citizen, we look for ways and means that we can work with our partners in various community groups and so on to ensure that we make a difference, and this is one of the ways. So when the CDF approached us, the decision was pretty much easy because we saw the value right away.
Okay. And is it your first time collaborating?
Yes, this is our first time collaborating with the CDF. I must say that it has been a very good partnership so far.
Okay.
I think the communication is there. The team is very well organized, and they engage us every step of the way. So I know that this series of activities will be a tremendous success.
And how does Republic Bank envision this partnership with the CDF and Art in the City, and what do you all hope to bring about in the local culture?
Right. So and that leads right into where I was heading, because for us, we look at partners. We don't see this as a sponsorship, but we look for partnerships, right? We want to build something. So for the next 2, 3, 5 years, we can go back and say, listen, we started this in 2024 and look at where it has elevated to. But in terms of, for us, we have what we call the Power to Make a Difference program, which is our CSR strategy. And through that program, we are encouraging persons to be direct to your question, where you can apply for funding, right? So apart from, on this occasion, we're sponsoring, right? We're the title's platinum sponsor, but we also have a program in place where community groups, NGOs, and so on, who are in that creative space, can apply for funding to make their dreams a reality in terms of in that space. So we encourage persons to always stay tuned to our website. So when we put the call for proposal out, they can take up that opportunity.
Okay, nice. What long-term goals does Republic Bank hope to achieve through its involvement with Art in the City this year?
Right. So again, we are very intentional, and so through the Power to Make a Difference program, we will be working with the creative sector, the creative arts, literary arts, the performing arts, and so on, in every way possible to ensure that we elevate the game, so to speak. And you could see that if you look at what has been happening for the past 4.5 years of us entering the St. Lucia market and the wider Eastern Caribbean, you would have seen a lot of community involvement, and the creative industry is definitely a high priority item for us.
Okay.
That's right. So in what ways do you expect Republic Bank to engage with our local community and with the local artists in this partnership?
Right. So this partnership for arts in the city, we have something in store from an engagement standpoint, and I don't want to speak too much about it, but I want to encourage persons to come down and be a part of the experience. But yes, the CDF and Republic Bank, we work very, very close together, and to ensure that this will come off very well.
Yes.
Okay, so let's get into the specifics. So can you elaborate on the specific initiatives or programs that you guys are supporting through its sponsorship of Art in the City?
Right. So if you recall, we launched our CSR initiative last year, right? And we had about 6 or so partners from St. Lucia. Again, that program is built on 4 strategic pillars,
Okay.
right? And the creative industry will fall under the power to succeed, so to speak. And so that is why we're encouraging persons to really stay tuned to Republic Bank's social media. We normally will put information out on the radio and different mediums
Okay.
to encourage persons to put your proposals together, because we are making funds available for that sector. But you have to put the proposals together, and you have to be able to articulate your vision for
Right.
your project or your program. So for example, somebody might be an artist and they would like to probably invest in a studio where they can bring in persons and train them and that kind of thing. That
Right.
is the kind of thing that we're looking forward to through the Power to Make a Difference program. So it's we're off to a good start. It's our very first initiative with the CDF.
Okay.
But as I said before, because of the organization and the way that they engage, it is very much encouraging for us, and we would definitely would want to work with them for future initiatives.
Okay.
So, Mr. Mitchell, why Arts in the City? Is there anything in common that Republic Bank and Arts in the City has that may have fostered this partnership?
Well, we fundamentally believe in sustainability,
Okay.
and culture is what defines us, right? And for a bank who has been around for over 180 years across the region, we have a footprint and an image to maintain, and so definitely whatever we can do to preserve culture, we will support.
Okay.
That's right. Your
Nice.
culture is being preserved, ladies and gentlemen. Republic Bank.
I would say, Cameron, I'm definitely excited, and it's always a pleasure to see corporate businesses like you jump on board, because it's a popular belief that our culture is slowly dying, and one of
right.
the ways that we can promote our culture and we can sustain our culture is when people like you, corporate businesses like you, come on board, and you lend your support. So I must say, I must applaud such an initiative, and kudos to you. I'm excited.
I am definitely excited now. They've put in their end of the work. We have to put in our end of the work and make sure that we come out and support our local artists, because there's so much that's being done to promote them, and we need to be at the best reception of the stick.
Absolutely. I can totally agree with you on that. Is there anything that you want to ask again?
Let's see. How does Republic Bank leverage its sponsorship of Arts in the City to foster creativity and innovation? Do you hope that this becomes a self-sustainable thing so that artists and creatives are able to easily access their funds and be able to do what they want? What do you hope for that?
Right. So clearly, we work close with the CDF to ensure that the promotion of the festival happens, right? And that's why, I did a promo with them last week, and
Okay.
I'm here today. We work hand in hand to spread the word,
Okay.
right? So that we can build this brand to a level where it becomes natural,
Okay.
right? Year 2, year 3. And it's about the awareness. We want
Okay.
persons to be aware of, sometimes we tend to forget basic things that defines us as our Caribbean people,
That's right.
and we want, with the whole technology age and so on. And it's funny enough because right now we're in a digital age where everything's about content,
Right.
all right? But sometimes the core creatives get left behind, and that is where we're trying to highlight that and amplify it and put some monies behind it to ensure it's sustainable for generations.
Okay. And just to summarize, is there anything that you hope to achieve through partnering with CDF and Arts in the City?
Well, I mean, we just want to make sure that this partnership continues and bear fruit. And as for us, it's really important to work with the stakeholders within our communities to ensure that we can provide some level of assistance wherever we can. Yes, we are a bank, and we are about providing banking services and products.
Okay.
But at the end of the day, we have to work closely with our communities, our key stakeholders, to ensure at the end of the day, the people of St. Lucia, the people of the Eastern Caribbean benefit from whatever we do.
So
Nice.
Republic Bank is sponsoring Arts in the City, but here's how Arts in the City could sponsor you, ladies and gentlemen. You're going to want to stick around. We have a commercial break coming up right now, but stick around to make sure that you are in the running for tickets. We have giveaways, so much more coming later in the show.
We'll be back. Stick around.
And welcome back to Art and the City in this very special segment. I will be taking over and I'll be at the helm for this interview with a very special guest this evening. He has been designated as the 2024 cultural icon in the CDF's Icon series. Let me just welcome to the show Mr. Llewellyn Xavier. Welcome to the show.
Thank you for having me.
Good to have you here. Always good to have the artists and famous people here in our studio.
Well, it's quite amazing in your studio because
thank you very much.
Watch your program every now and again. So.
Oh, excellent. Very good. Okay. Tell us a little bit about your journey. You, unfortunately, like a lot of St. Lucians, artists especially, they tend to leave St. Lucia so that they could find themselves and then come back. Tell us about your journey. You left St. Lucia, you went to Barbados, eventually ended up in the UK. How has that influenced you as an artist, shaped you as an artist and your perspective as an artist?
Well, I was pretty wet behind the ears when I left St. Lucia. I was quite young. Before I turned 16, I left and destitute and penniless. And went to Barbados as an apprentice.
Right.
And art happened, quite literally.
As it always does.
Yeah, I had no idea whatsoever that I was going to become an artist. And so I started life as an agriculturalist. And had my first exhibition, fooling around with paint and discovered that I could paint. So, and I've never looked back. Ever since. Went to England for the first time. Went to live in England in 1968. Lived between London and Barbados. By which time I'd mercifully, fortunately, there was somebody who was very interested in my work, a great patron of the arts, and so that's how I started, and then went traveling around the world, and the rest is history, as they say.
Right.
So.
You also did a stint at the Museum of Fine Arts in Boston.
Well, I went to school there.
You went to school, right?
Yeah.
In Boston. And also in Montreal. You spent some time which is what I found very interesting.
Just a minute. How is it that my going to school is referred to as a stint? I went to school.
Yeah, you went to school.
Yeah, I went to school. Right. Hey, I give Ogaso. I let me see. A stint. I went to school.
Right.
I went to school and I was already a practicing artist.
Right.
Decided that I would go to school. And after a while, Boston was not quite what I thought it would be. And so I left. I didn't leave. I graduated from the School of the Museum of Fine Arts, but I went to Halifax to do what is known as an exchange. I went for a semester and ended up staying there for almost a year.
Okay.
And in fact, I didn't go back to Boston, but they graduated me. So that's how I got to Boston.
Something I found very interesting when I was doing a little bit of read up on you. Yeah. You spent some time with the Cistercian monks in Montreal.
Yeah.
Tell us about that.
Well, after having lived a very riotous life, I was a sort of committed hedonist, and we have neither the time nor the.
Right. That's for another show.
Well, no, that's certainly for another show. I was competing with somebody called Jean Genet, who was really one of the most notorious, hedonists in the world, and I sort of wanted to shock Jean Genet, and he contributed to one of my works, incidentally. But after a while, I sort of decided that I would, I started looking inward and had a series of experiences and decided that I'd go into a monastery.
Right.
And spent almost a year going from one Cistercian monastery to the next. I wanted the strictest, although it's a silent order, and people sort of say to me, well, were you in a silent order? I mean, how did you manage that? Because people think I talk too much. But it's because I'm always in my studio by myself, and you sort of have to, when you do go out, you want to make conversation with people. But seriously, I spent time, going to various monasteries, one in Israel, but I sort of stayed in one in Montreal. And after a while, I came back to St. Lucia to say goodbye to my mother, and decided that I went back to the monastery, and I had gone out for what is known as a month of discernment.
Right.
I went back to the monastery and decided that wasn't what I wanted to do with my life, and got out and went to England, got married, and we came back to St. Lucia.
How did the time at the monastery impact you and your
Well, it
development
was
as an artist?
prayer and meditation,
Yeah.
which I still do. And I'm neither well, obviously I'm not a monk, but I'm a Christian.
Okay.
I'm a Bible-believing, born-again Christian, by the grace of God. And so I spend a lot of my time in prayer and meditation. And I have a wonderful, wonderful wife who looks after me, maybe too well. So and I was, spend a lot of my time working, painting, and but this is the life. And I now live. I don't know what on earth I'm doing here at 9 o'clock or in the evening talking to you, because I should be at home.
You should be at home and
I should be at
relaxing.
home. Oh, I don't know about in bed, but certainly I should be at home. And I'm not. I said to this lady, I said to this person who came to the house that I don't like being. I don't like going out. I don't like. She said, "You're antisocial."
Oh my!
I'm not antisocial. I just like my own company. I love being. I love holidays because there's nobody at the house.
Right. You sound like a typical artist.
Well,
yes, that's
I
it.
hope I've been at it for the last
Yeah.
65 or so years. So
Right.
it's what I've always done. So
Let's talk about your art for a while. You have a very unique technique of applying multicolored pearls of paint.
yes.
Could you share more about the development of this technique and how it reflects the Caribbean environment?
It came about over years of painting. I tend to use a lot of. The technique is not an original technique in that it is handed down. It started with the Flemish masters,
Right.
and then the Viennese Fantastics, and then through somebody in Boston, and then to me. And it is something that is handed down to somebody. You almost have to take a vow that you're not going to, reveal how you came by the technique.
Oh, really?
But I can tell. Well, yes, it has sort of been handed
Nice.
down, and it's sort of using glazes.
Right.
So you do the first glaze, but each person treats it in their own way. I mean, the Viennese Fantastics, so they did the most, people like Fuchs and these guys, they did the most amazing figurative work. And then the person in Boston did very fanciful things, almost extraterrestrial things. And I use my work is painted, I use glazes, and so although it seemed abstract, there are figurative elements in them. And sometimes there are as many as 32, 40 glazes. So it takes me forever to do a painting. So I usually work on several paintings simultaneously. If not, I'd probably do a painting a year.
Oh, wow.
Which I'd have to, which would be very
Interesting.
work. Yeah,
Okay.
that wouldn't work.
Well, I think I would love to at least, at some point, if I could, catch you in studio just to watch you work.
You will see the show.
Yes.
There's an exhibition that we're doing, which opens on the 4th, really,
Yes.
to the general public, and it's an enormous exhibition. It consists of several hundreds of pieces
Yes.
of work, and there are 3 distinct segments.
Okay.
And one is Poems from St. Lucia, which is the title of the exhibition, and it's sort of small paintings. The other is made from glass, which is fired in an earthen kiln. People sort of think they're bits of coral that I found on the beach, but it's all glass that I've fabricated. And the biggest work component of the work is Chronicles, or the St. Lucia Chronicle. And what it does is, although the work is about the environment and it's global in its scope, it chronicles the family names of St. Lucia. Unfortunately, I don't think we would have got every family name.
You didn't have Cherry? No.
Well, we shall find out. For a while, I didn't know Cherry was a St. Lucian
A St. Lucian name?
I didn't, honestly. How did this foreigner come to our country and is sort of, superstar on TV?
Well, I have my theory, I think it's an anglicized version of Sherry. Darling, because we have a lot of Moncheries. There's
yes, that's what
there's
that
another
is.
Sherry.
Yes,
There's
yeah.
Moncherie, and then there's some other Sherry,
Yeah.
and then there's just Sherry by itself,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
So my theory is that we were just darlings. And
Little petit chérie.
that's right. It's just an anglicized version.
But I
of
tell you where I'm
Sherry.
very lucky. For there are lots of Josephs. So
Lots of
that's
Josephs.
easy enough.
Yes.
And James, Josephs, and
Charles.
Charles.
That's
which is
right.
my middle name.
Okay.
And
Lots of
we've
these.
covered most of the St. Lucian families. Maybe we have. You never know. But you're coming to the.
I will definitely
your-
be there.
your-
Absolutely.
Your press, you'll be there. You'll be
Yes.
treated like a VIP. And,
Oh, very good. I love to be treated as
Not by me.
Okay.
So you'll be there. So,
Absolutely.
Yeah, and it's a pity that I'd love to talk to you for hours about what I do.
Yes,
but
I
I'm
wish,
afraid
but we will not have a lot
anyway,
of time.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
the chairman of the CDF has described the Icon series as, the showcase, the exhibition, as embodying creative innovation and cultural richness.
Yeah.
How do you think your artwork reflects these aspects of St. Lucia's personality?
Well, for one thing, I mean the fact that and then all of name places are mentioned. As well.
Right.
I wish we had. I wish I could tell you a little bit more about
Right.
exactly what it is. I mean, you have to see the show.
Yes.
I mean, come see the exhibition.
Would really appreciate a little
Yeah.
teaser.
So
I mean, I like the-
I want. Okay. So, there's a sort of a refrain, like in a musical piece, like in an opera, there are choruses where a refrain is repeated over and over again. So we repeat, say, certain names, certain place names, but all the names, Wavin Serpent,
Nice.
Wavin Toutrel, Wavin Poisson, Bourgis, L'Abbaye, as is mentioned in the work over and over and over. As I said, the work is definitely global in scope. I mean, I have to go. I mean, otherwise,
Yes, of course.
I'm going to sell them.
Yes, yeah. That's right.
Otherwise, I'd die of, So the work has to be sold. The work has to be exhibited. I think there's an exhibition coming up in New York at my New York gallery. And also we're looking at maybe possibly showing it. I don't know which work, but the work is going to be shown at the Philadelphia Museum. I don't know which work they're
Right.
going to decide what they're going to choose to show. So the work it has to be global in its scope. But it is very St. Lucian in that it has always St. Lucian, wonderful St. Lucian name places. All these wonderful, some I never heard about. I mean, there are some names I had to do some research. If I had to employ a researcher
Right.
to do the research, then there's Cesar, who's this wonderful woman with whom I worked, and she did the research for the name places. Also, my friend and brother in Christ, Robert Lee, helps me.
Right.
A great, wonderful poet. I tease
Yes.
him. I tease him all the time. I said, it's a pity, my boy, that if we hadn't had Derek, you would be, our next.
The poet.
Yes,
Absolutely. The
that
poet
poet,
laureate
absolutely.
of St.
Because he
Lucia,
is an
right.
extraordinarily
He
good,
is.
wonderful poet.
Absolutely.
And so he's helped, and it's been a massive undertaking. I had no idea that it was going to be so enormous.
Wow.
But it's been Sure. It's been fun. It's a lot of work. I've got, but I think we've accomplished something. The thing is to come and see it and sort of make your own.
I think a lot of people are looking forward to it.
Wow.
Looking forward to seeing
be
this.
fun.
Yeah. I think before we came on, I was telling you that we met a very, very long time ago.
Yes.
At the St. Lucian Hotel. I was a young man working at reception. And you and your wife had come up and we struck a conversation.
I was
and
rude to you.
eventually, no, you were not. You were very nice, actually.
I've had a reformation.
But you were nice.
My wife always say you were rude to somebody.
Oh my
At the
God.
back, she always says, "I hope you weren't rude to this person."
Right.
And maybe I'm just sort of, yes.
But the conversation
it's
was
so-
about, eventually the conversation came to what I would call the role de jour at the time, which was there was a scandal about somebody wanting to build something on the pitons and so on.
Oh my
And then there was a lot of talk about it.
Talk about infamy.
That's right.
Oh,
So it was way
my
back, and
that's
there's all this talk about
you
the
must have been young,
environment. I was very young. At
Well,
the time.
obviously.
Right.
I mean, yes.
I think that kind of impacted,
Yes, yes.
my own perception and views on the environment and
Yes,
conservation and so on.
Well, it was quite. I mean, they were at one time planning. I mean, the young people is all good and well.
Yeah.
Sort of, a friend of mine, in fact, the lovely, wonderful Miss Holder, who works with Darwin, she climbed the PT Piton
That's
recently last Sunday,
Oh my gosh.
and she thought they were planning on cutting off the top of the Gros Piton.
And to put something on.
They were going to put a wedding chapel on top of the
Oh
Gros
my
Piton,
gosh.
and they were going to put a cable car to go up the Gros
That's
Piton.
what
and,
it was.
and they
I
were going to
remember that.
put hotels sort of on the Choiseul side of the Gros Piton. And if you really want to get a souffre, somebody from souffre really cross, is to tell them both the Gros Piton belongs to Choiseul. This is where I come from, and they get livid.
Right.
They get absolutely furious with you. I
So
tease them,
how do you use your art? I mean, you've been advocating for the environment for a long time. How do you use your art? And you're a renowned artist.
Well,
how do you use that to raise awareness about environmental issues? I remember from way back then.
I started, as a matter of fact, I started when we came to St. Lucia 33 years ago. When my wife and I returned to St. Lucia, we started this series of work on the environment entitled Global Council for Restoration of the Earth's Environment.
Right.
And the idea was to use my art as a vehicle to make sort of say that, and this was 32 years ago. The work was shown in Geneva, then at the Metropolitan Museum of Art in New York, and it's my biggest series of work to date. And interestingly, there was people took notice of it, but it didn't, and it was exhibited, and a lot of museums. Not a lot, but some museums had it in their collection.
Right.
But I believe I have a very close, very wonderful friend who is adamant that there is no global climate change.
Wow.
And he collects my work, so I can never quite understand it. So he's going to have a bit of a shock when he sees, because this exhibition is primarily about the environment.
Right.
I mean, it is as I said, it chronicles the name places and the name of St. Lucians, but it is environment. It makes reference to environmental degradation, the whole environmental movement, because I am convinced that we are in for a very rough time environmentally. Because I mean, there was a flood, deluge somewhere in the Middle East.
Yes,
so much so
Dubai.
Dubai,
Yeah.
and with the summer is just beginning, and I believe it's going to be very, very, very tough summer, and we're going to have some.
But for people who don't believe in climate change, I always tell them Obviously, you have not lived in St. Lucia and known the mango seasons
Yes.
and realize how much mango seasons have changed.
Yes.
Right, where we used to eat mangoes during summer, right?
Yes,
now
yes.
everywhere's loaded with mangoes, and then
Yes.
during summer we barely
Yes.
get mangoes. So,
Yes.
so you see little
This is
things
not
like
changed.
that changing,
Yes,
you
yes,
know?
yes,
right?
yes, yes,
But
yes.
Mrs. Abbey,
Yeah, sorry.
as you said, I wish we could speak for hours,
Yes,
but
yes,
we don't
sadly.
have a lot of time. I want to thank you so much for coming.
Well, thank you
I'm
for
really
having
looking
me.
forward
Really.
to your exhibition.
Well, thank you very much for having me, and I hope people come to see the exhibition.
They will come, I'm sure they will. Yes,
Yeah.
people are looking forward to this. I've heard a lot of people talking about
well.
this. And also congratulations on being the cultural icon for 2024.
Thank you.
All right. Okay, great. All right, we're going to take another quick break. When we come back, don't forget we have those prizes there for you. You have an opportunity to get some tickets to go to two of the great shows that we have on the lineup for Art in the City. That's Genesis, the dance production, and A Woman's Songbook. So stay with us so you get a chance to win those tickets. Cameron and Kishana are coming back. We'll be right back.
Back, ladies and gentlemen. You thought we left, but you were so wrong.
We're right
Welcome
here.
back. Yes, this is our third episode of Art in the City. It feels good to be back, doesn't it?
Doesn't it? And we're coming back. We're not just on your TV screen. We're here with excitement, ladies and gentlemen.
That's right.
Tell them
Now,
what you're up to.
earlier on, I did promise that the show was going to be a great one, an exciting one, because we have loads of giveaways coming up. And of course, we're getting ready to jump straight into a giveaway. So Cameron, just tell me or tell the people what can they do.
Let me tell you, the giveaway starts right now, ladies and gentlemen. You can't believe it's so easy to come and claim. What are they winning, Kishana?
They're actually going to win themselves 2 tickets to Genesis, and that's the dance production.
That's right. So if you want to win yourself 2 tickets, here's what you got to do. You got to go to the CDF's Facebook page. That's CDF St. Lucia on Facebook. And you just have to answer a simple question, ladies and gentlemen. Are you all ready for the question at home?
Dun, dun, dun.
Dun, 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 dun. All right. So all I want you all to do, ladies and gentlemen, simply and plainly is to state the date and time for Genesis, a Silver Shadow Dance matinee.
That's correct. It's that simple. You want to say it again for them?
Ladies and gentlemen, all you have to do to win yourself 2 free tickets to Genesis is hop onto Facebook right now, CDF St. Lucia, and answer the question. Be the first one there. I'm sure there's already somebody on the site typing away. Ladies and gentlemen, CDF St. Lucia on Facebook. State the date and time for Genesis, a Silver Shadow Dance matinee. What day, what time, ladies and gentlemen. And then you will get the chance to be there, complimentary.
That's right, front line. But anyways, the excitement is definitely building up, but we gotta take it down a notch just a little because we have 2 amazing people beside us this evening, and we are ready to get the ball rolling. So would you mind introducing our guest?
Well, it is Art and the City, right? And what is Art and the City without art in the city? Ladies and gentlemen, we have Miss Buki Kohane and we have Miss Junette Alexander right here. We have the artist and her curator. Ladies and gentlemen, how are you? Good evening, good evening.
Good evening, guys. I'm doing really well.
You look so lovely.
Well, thank you. And I'm doing good as well.
Awesome. All right, so let's start with you, my
Yes.
good friend over here. Tell us more about the inspiration behind curating this art exhibition featuring both seasoned and up-and-coming St. Lucians.
Absolutely. Firstly, it begins with saying a big thank you and kudos to CDF.
Okay.
CDF reached out to myself as a curator here in St. Lucia to ensure that I do what I do best, which is kind of collate artists
Okay.
and put together an amazing art show.
Yes.
This year's theme is Life in Colour, and so we're both here boldly
Yes.
in our bright colours representing,
I see
and
that.
just making sure that we are able to reflect St. Lucia in all of its vibrancy.
Okay.
And so we start with that, and we also lead from that segmenting to knowing how the artistry also can connect to the exhibition. So Jeanette and I have worked closely together for many years, and Jeanette is I would say a definite professional artist. She's been
Okay.
painting for many years, but Jeanette.
Yes, I have.
Okay, so
Yeah.
just tell me a little bit more about yourself and what you do.
Okay, well, I'm an artist,
Okay.
visual artist. I love mixed media,
Okay.
and I'm also an art educator.
Okay.
Oh.
So I've been teaching for quite a few years,
Alright.
and I love both equally.
Okay.
Okay, so when we head to the art exhibition, what can we expect?
Oh,
That's
Oh,
one for
she's
me. That's one
ready.
for me, totally. So
She's
allow
ready.
me to explain. So the exhibition is from Monday the 6th of May all the way through to Saturday the 11th of May. Exhibition opens at 10 a.m. through to 6 p.m. We have great artists and great work, and Jeanette Alexander has a great unique piece titled Vivid Thoughts. Along with Jeanette, we also have a different artist, Arnold Toulon. We also have Gabrielle King. We have Amanda Tannick. The list goes on. In fact, there are 17 talented artists within St. Lucia. And we also have a collection of over 80 artworks being shown, from legends from Alwyn St. Omer all the way through to young up-and-coming artists who, again, are very connected to how they can showcase their arts. And this platform of CDF and our sponsors allows us to do this greatly as part of jazz and art.
Well, let me tell you, just listening to you, I can tell you that I'm beyond excited. I'm bubbling
I'm
with excitement.
ready.
I'm ready to see what you have to offer.
Of course.
But as an artist, tell me, are there any themes or subjects that you find yourself very drawn to?
Oh yes, yes. So I personally love to tell stories with my work.
Okay.
Before I've been pursuing themes like identity or lost, because I went through, some personal experience.
alright.
And as artists, you tend to put that in your work. For the Life in Color, my work is about vivid thoughts, how we as people could think of how life should be, how we imagine ourselves, how we imagine the future, how we view St. Lucia, view ourselves as people, or what we want to do. So the piece is very relatable to anyone, I believe, who's looking at it, who has some bold dream and who dares to, try to pursue that dream.
Right, because that goes on. Because for most people, their art experience somewhat, as a child, they draw their little hand turkeys or
Yeah.
whatever, and then they might even go up to VA in secondary school, and then that's where art ends for a lot of people. But
In St. Lucia, yeah.
let me tell you, how do you believe that this exhibition will contribute to the promotion of appreciation of our St. Lucian artistry? Because I know a lot of talented St. Lucian artists, and how do you think this will highlight that?
I really believe that it is a step in the right direction in terms of that appreciation. In St. Lucia, the sad reality, and I could say that as an educator, is that persons just don't have the means or the opportunities, as you said, after secondary school.
Right.
So seeing other St. Lucians who are pursuing art, a lot of times young people, they like to draw, they like to paint, but they don't see it. They don't see beyond that hey, I could literally pursue this
Right.
and be successful at
Right.
it. So I believe it will be an eye-opener to them that, hey, these people are doing that and I can do it too.
can make it.
So I love that CDF is trying, they're partnering, and they're trying to give creatives this light, so persons could see us in this beautiful, vibrant, wonderful light and see what we can do. So I really hope that schools come and support and view the exhibition, because trust, it will be eye-opening.
May 6th to 11th, folks.
I could imagine, and I'm only excited to see what you have to offer. But let's talk the creative process. Tell me about conceptualization to the actual creation of the piece. Let's talk that.
Every artist has a different
Techniques?
process. Even before you reach the technique, whether it is trying to figure out what you want to say. Some people don't have nothing to say with the art, which is nothing wrong with that. Sometimes they want aesthetics, but for me, I really love saying something with my art.
Okay.
I'm working on something that is grand, similar to Lelwyn in terms of climate change and environment. I want to speak and bring discourse and evoke interest with my art.
Okay.
So with my process, I read, I do research, I need to experience certain things and then say, okay, this is something I want to say in my work. How can I translate this into art and allow people to view it and ask questions that's pertinent to living?
Now, for a curator, you see, we have so many talented artists in St. Lucia, so I could imagine that your job is not an easy one at all, at all, at all. See, can you share some insights into the selection process? So, like, how do you determine what artists are going to be there?
I would initially start with the theme. The theme is Life in Colour, and so when we work with that title, we're thinking immediately of vibrancy, texture, of illumination, of a way to convey a message. And I think as well as within the Caribbean context, we cannot avoid the fact that we have so much creativity and landscapes around us. So when I look at artists, I look at what their skill set is.
Okay.
If you're a strong landscape artist and I know you have a great piece and a piece on, I will draw you in. If you are a abstract artist and you have a way of expressing yourself that's not quite conventional, I will also draw you in. But a lot of my role is always about connecting, conversing, being able to take care of the arts, draw the artist in, promote the artwork and try and get viewers globally and not just within St. Lucia to appreciate the artwork that we do have here.
I'm so excited, Cameron, and I really wish that we could stay to converse a lot more. But just to summarize, can you tell us about the venue, the time, the date, and accessibility?
Oh yeah, that again, one for me. So
Yes.
guys, please, definitely, I would love to see you, and so would Jeanette. We are at La Place Carénage, Monday the 6th of May, all the way through to Saturday the 11th of May, from 10 a.m. till 6 p.m. and we'll be there. And again, we have a selection of activities throughout the afternoon. So please, if you can't make it in the morning or in the afternoon, come in the afternoon or come in the evening. We'll be there throughout and we'll be lovely to see you there.
They will be there for you, so ladies and gentlemen, you have to be there for them.
I'm assuming that this dress would have been the perfect dress.
You're spot on. You're totally life and colour embodied.
Yes.
Life in color, ladies and gents.
Yes, it's the place to be. But we are getting ready for a commercial break. When we get back, more vibes right here on Real to Talk all things art in the city. So stick around for that.
And for another giveaway, don't forget. Welcome back to Arts in the City. If you're just joining us, we have so many interviews done already. I don't know why you're just joining us, but welcome here.
But yes, Cameron, we are back and we are back to stay. Yeah. In studio with us this evening is Mr. Tyrone Harris, and he is a member of the Cultural Development Foundation. Good evening.
Hi, good evening. How you guys doing?
Good,
Really
excited.
good, dude. How are you doing?
I'm over the moon.
Over the moon.
Over the moon.
Whatever that's supposed to mean.
Yeah.
She has
just-
great interviewers.
I'm just buzzing with
and we have a-
excitement.
Okay, well, we are happy to have you here. All right, so let's get the ball rolling. Tell me a little bit more about TTAC at Lacey.
Well, as the name speaks for itself, TTAC St. Lucia simply translates to a little bit of St. Lucia. And Art in the City takes over the Rodney Bay Strip on May 9th and 10th with TTAC St. Lucia, the arts and the craft and souvenir market. For those 2 days, the market is going to run from 10 a.m. to 6 p.m. daily.
Okay.
St. Lucians, visitors alike can expect a wide variety of exposition by local artists, and in some cases a few foreigners. So
let's get into those expositions. What do we have on offer here at TTAC St. Lucia?
well, definitely craft, sculpture, fashion, jewelry,
Fashion. That's me.
yeah,
That
fashion,
piques our interest for sure.
sandals, shoes, you name it. A number of well-established St. Lucian artists and crafters would be exhibiting their stuff at the craft and souvenir market.
Okay.
Because it's one of my beliefs, you know, I'm not a native to this land, I moved here, and one of the first things that sticks out to me about St. Lucia is the craft scene and how it's very vibrant. To me, I've seen a lot of places in the Caribbean, and St. Lucia is one of the most thriving and like in your eyes and face craft scene. You know, every tourist leaves home and they go back to their home carrying a piece of St. Lucia with them, and share how this is instrumental to society, not just for Arts in the City, but in St. Lucian life and everything, you know, the items available, the details and how it goes into St. Lucia.
Well, definitely, just like your previous interview, art, just like art tells a story, craft tells a story. The artist wants to reveal himself in his work, and a lot of that is shown by the various artists who would participate in those exhibitions. Usually, St. Lucians, they see the products exhibited in other spaces, and sometimes they're not even sure that this is a St. Lucian product.
Right.
So we're bringing a face of faces to the St. Lucian public and visitors also, so they're going to say, oh, these are the persons making this piece of jewelry. it's an opportunity for those artists also to network with each other,
Right.
play on each other's strength, see, talk to each other about their weaknesses. How could they improve on their work? What are you doing differently from myself? How could we improve? So it's really an opportunity for persons to show off their skills and also to learn.
Okay. How does the event aim to celebrate and showcase our local culture right here?
Well, the event speaks for itself.
Yeah.
Once you walk through here, the theme for the market, we have decided, because there's so much other world music around with the music side of the festival, we decided to, in the main, fill it up with our traditional music.
That's right.
So you're not going to see a lot of modern genres at the souvenir market. You're going to see the masquerade. You're going to see a folk band. You're going to see folk singing. You know, a few other surprises. The market will come alive, not just by exposition, as in stock exposition, but you will have sidewalk graffiti, which is we call SketchUp.
Okay.
Over 2 days, the artists would use chalk on the sidewalk and develop those pieces that would really express what Art in the City means want, and also the wider St. Lucia Jazz and Arts Festival. I mean, if you participated last year in terms of visiting it, there were some wonderful pieces, and you know, with SketchUp, it's almost like a timeless piece, because you know it's not going to last more than 2 or 3 days.
It's gonna rain away.
It's exposed to the element,
Right.
but that is captured in time. I mean, just a simple photo of one of those pieces means that you've captured something that was here now and has disappeared. You know, so a bit of this. Also, we're hoping that some of the visual artists, the painters that are going to be there, are actually going to be choosing to do some work there, so people could see them immerse themselves in their work, and so this is the second showing. First year that we're actually referring to it as TTAC St. Lucie, but it's the second showing of the craft and souvenir market within the St. Lucia Jazz and Arts Festival, and we're excited. We're very much excited.
Are we excited, Kishana?
Very excited.
Yep.
So what about interested individuals? How can they participate, whether as attendees or vendors?
Well, you simply have to go onto the CDF social media handles and basically fill out the registration form. It's very easy. All the information is there. Our registration is almost at its peak.
Okay, nice.
But I want to implore to the persons out there to don't just register by filling in that form. You need to come in, and what would determine you participating is you paying off your registration fee, and of course the other amenities that are available for the market. And once that is done, then you actually set to get in there. We have space for 30 artists.
Oh.
All right.
Nice.
So and when last I checked, we were at 29. But not all 29 have already done the necessaries.
Right.
So if you're sitting on the fence, first come, first serve. Right? So St. Lucians can expect to see a number. I think a few days ago, Christy Creations launched That's My Bag 7. And she's going to be at the market. And if by what I have seen so far, she's certainly going to take this market by storm.
TTAC St. Lucie, everybody, May 9th at Rodney Bay. Now, we're highlighting our St. Lucian local artists. Isn't that right, Kishana?
Yes, we are, and of course we have to say a huge thank you to Mr. Tyrone Harris for stopping by.
Yes.
But Cameron, I'm pretty sure that many persons are glued to their TVs, because we did mention that we have another giveaway coming up, and it's right now.
It's coming to you right now. You see another piece of St. Lucian art that you could perform. You could not perform, but support.
Right.
2 tickets to a woman's songbook.
And all you gotta do, Cameron, is
log on to the CDF St. Lucia's Facebook page. That's Facebook CDF St. Lucia, and answer me this question, ladies and gentlemen. It's so simple. Name any 2 cast members of a Woman's Songbook Jazz Edition. Ladies and gentlemen, let me repeat myself. You hop onto the CDF's Facebook page, CDF St. Lucia, and you name yourself any 2 2 cast members of a women's songbook jazz edition, and you will win 2 tickets to a women's songbook to see those cast members right with your own 2 eyes. Isn't that right?
That's correct. But Cameron, you know how they say all good things must come to an end. We are getting ready to conclude our 3rd episode. It's a kind of bittersweet moment for myself because it's really sad that I have to leave.
Next week, though, we coming back.
Yes. Thankfully, next week we'll be back. Same place, same time. So we are urging you to stick around and, of course, join us next week, Monday, same place, same time. It was an absolute pleasure.
As always, it's your fab duo, Cameron Gustav and Kishana Smith. And we're taking over the show.
As per the norm. Bye, guys.
Thank you so much for watching.